Okay, so this is a series of streams/videos where I am making a video game from scratch in a language called Jai, which is helpful. It's a systems level language that is very supportive of video game development. And I'm doing so without the help of AI because I'm in an alternate dimension from yours where AI hasn't been invented. I've been told this interesting and amazing thing exists that can answer all of your questions and solve all of your problems. And I don't have access to it. So I have to solve all of my problems making this video game without AI. Now, yesterday, what I was doing was making a I decided to take a break. So this is the second time I streamed on Twitch. Yesterday was the first time I streamed on Twitch, and on that day I decided to take a break from making the video game and make a terminal renderer just to make like a nice BRB animation scroll. And so where I left off there, because I'm going to finish that up today and might actually, I probably have time to get back to the video game today. But where I left off today, can see, if we compile, oh, that's not the right thing. Gotta wait for it to come back, and then we can compile and then run BRB. So this is where I left off yesterday. Basically, I've got a scroll going on where BRB is just sort of jumping all around the place. Well, it's impossible to tell what the heck this is supposed to mean. But basically, it's BRB. Let me split this. Well, no, okay, I'm going to stop this. So basically what's happening is I have this text that I'm treating as an image. Now, if you can imagine, each one of these cells of this string is a pixel of an image. That's how I'm treating it, right? So I'm saying like, anywhere there's a space, that's an empty cell. Anywhere there's a character, that's not an empty cell. I can make any of these cells, any kind of character. So if I take this row, I can change it to all exclamation points. I can do the same with all these rows, actually. If you go to terminal, and run, can see that now it's all exclamation points across that part, right? So it's really treating those cells in the string as pixels and rendering them, appropriately, right? So this is it's just a very basic renderer. It's a very basic, extremely basic renderer. Can I get to stop, please? Stop. Please stop. There we go. Okay. All right. So, what I want to do is, at the end of the day, I want to have BRB sort of scrolling left to right in a repeating fashion, which you can actually use a trick from video games for that, which I will teach you if you happen to be watching this VOD. I'm going to be taking this BRB text image and scrolling it left to right repeatedly, and so it will look like it'll look like a repeating BRB is scrolling across the screen, an endless stream of BRBs, right? So instead of whatever this is, it will actually look like something, right? Okay. So I'm gonna go back to BRB. So the first thing I need to figure out is why in that. So I'm going to take out all of this animation here. This is some really crude animation. I'm going to split this. Oh, not that way. And first thing I need to figure out is why it's cutting off the image. If you can see here, this is a very nice, beautiful text image. This is all cut off. It looks like what I'm doing is I'm forgetting to render the bottom row and the right column, but it looks like more than I'm cutting off a lot of the right side. Right, I'm cutting off something like, I'm cutting off all of this, which is a lot of the image. So I need to figure out why that's happening and why I'm cutting off the bottom row. And then I can start making like an animation, and I'll have a nice BRB animation for this stream. That is the goal for today. I also would like to make like a little animated character who like walks across and like maybe does a little animation in the middle. I don't know, we'll see. This will probably take me a while, but also I'm in an alternate dimension where no AI exists, so I have to solve all of my problems by going to Stack Overflow and seeing what those people say, and so that's that just is what it is. Stack Overflow is very hit or miss, but I don't have AI, so what are you going to do? Okay, so why is this getting cut off? I'm going to go to my engine here. I'm using a little bit of my video game engine in order to make this stuff work. And we're using kind of a shenanigans, the shenanigans section. I should make it, this is the shenanigans section of the system to make a console text image and render the text images to console. So basically, this procedure converts a string into a kind of image, and then this procedure takes an array of images and assumes they're sort of depth sorted and renders them to the console. And so this is basically what you do every frame, right? Okay, so I don't do VBlank anymore because VBlank made it flicker, and flickering is bad. Let's see. Render character rect, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, so I'm pretty sure. Let's just see what the output of make console text image looks like first, and then I'll make sort of a judgment on something. So I'm going to look at, let's split this so I can see. going on. Okay, so all right. So images 0 is the BRB image. So BRB image. Why don't I just do this? BRB image is equal to make console text image, and then the first image is BRB image, right? Okay. And then BRB image, I want to just see what this looks like on its own. So for 0 to text width, and actually no, first we get a height. And we'll say this is the Y, and for X in 0 to text width, I'm going to print some text. And this is Y times the width plus X. And then we're just going to print a new line every time we come around. So this is printing the row here. And then this is printing a new line to go to the next line. So we're like on a typewriter going cha-ching, right? All right, so let's see what that looks like. Not that, please. I keep freezing up the terminal, so this is cool. There we go. Expected a, oh yeah. Fair. And also I don't want to go into this loop, just want to see the image. Okay, fair. I want to see it as characters, not as the numbers. But I can see that it has some width and height there. We're going to print it as the, so I'm going to make a string of length 1, where the data is at that character. Okay, so yeah, it looks like the bottom, okay, so there's two problems then. There's two problems. So when creating the image, it's cutting off like a lot of stuff on the right side. Oh, I know why that's happening. Okay, so I can fix that. And then when rendering the image, it looks like it's not rendering the last row. Okay, so the reason it's not, okay, yeah. The reason we're cutting off the right side is because I'm taking the minimum line length. I want the max line length, not minimum line length. So I want it's taking the line length of this line because it's the minimum line length. I want the max line length, which would be one of these lines, right? Okay. Max line length. Okay. I say max line length is 0. Max, not min. Okay, and then the max line length, but not, oh no, I made it dashes. You can't make names with dashes. Max, okay. Looks good. Let's see how that looks. Once I actually type it right, the system 130. Actually, let's put this 130. So hey, there we go. That's a full BRB. Full on BRB. All the way to the right. Okay. Man. Okay. So, if I go to Jai, and I see what that looks like now. So no longer rendering the image on its own. I want to render it through the renderer. Hey, that already looks good. I thought there were two problems, maybe there was only one. Sick. Okay. So. Cool. Alright. So now I've got BRB here. What I'm going to do now is make like an infinite scroll left to right. I want it to take about half the screen. So scale should be 0.5. And see how that looks right now. Okay, so yeah, now that problem's back. It looks like sometimes it gets cut off on the bottom and the right side. And it's probably like an off by one error. And okay. So the renderer, let's see. Probably render images to console render target. Yeah. Where is that? Now, I know this is going to crash, right? This has to crash. But will it crash? If we try to set the index to the... I think this is going to crash. It's going to set the index to the width or the height, and it's going to try to read past the buffer. It didn't crash, and that trouble. Okay, so why aren't you crashing? So I'm reading to the full width and full height. I must be like misunderstanding my own math. Which wouldn't be the first time. Try it at full size and see if I still don't crash. Okay, yeah. So, all right, that's fine. So the problem is x minus render rect ulx. Okay, I see what the problem is. I understand the problem 100%, sort of, almost, about 50% actually. Let me think about it. 1, but it should be, see, INV width adds 1. That is an issue. Okay, that's why. That is why. I need to, okay, this is a bit hacky, but because the normal, okay, because the normalized width and height adds 1, I need to also add 1 here. And that should solve the problem. Except it cut off. Cut off. Right, don't add 1. Okay. There's the bottom. Now I cut off the top. All right. All right. So, but I do see the problem. I just don't have a solution, right? I need it to be 0 on the left side and then 1 on the right. Let's see. Algorithm, you know what that is you just don't add 1 here, I think. You just don't add 1 there, and that way the normalized value is 0 at index 0, and at the very, so on the very right or at the very bottom, it's 1. So you get the whole range. Hey, that's it. Nice. Okay. So, yeah, I also want to put this in the middle. So, let's see. Let's do that. So I'm going to put, let's see, the height. The upper left is going to be 1/4 the way down the image. It's taking up half the height. Maybe make it a little bit smaller, something like 4. Let's okay. So let's say scale is 0.4, something like that. Then I want the upper left position to be half of the remaining space, right? So upper, just say upper. Upper is equal to 1 minus scale times 0.5, okay? And then, so make sure scale takes the variable, and then upper takes that. Exactly. Perfect. Okay. Oh, you know what'd be cool is if I have like one scroll going to the right and one scroll going to the left. And then like a character walking in between them, maybe. It might be neat. So, all right. And programming is way more fun when you just have like a silly little problem to solve. I need to give myself silly little problems to solve more often. Okay, so the scale, let's say, is a little bit smaller, 0.35. Upper, okay. So, I want to make a bunch of images. So the way an infinite scroll works, you can do this with backgrounds in video games as well, like a 2D video game side scroller. So you have like a sky moving past or something. You can just have one image, and then you essentially tile the image left and right. So you have it repeat left and right. And then you just scroll all of the images left to right or right to left. And as long as the image that you made that is tiled is as long as it looks the same on the right as it does on the left, so as long as you follow like repeating pattern rules so that it tiles correctly, the scroll will just look like an endless scroll. It'll just look like a sky scrolling past, right? So I'm doing the same thing here, but with BRB. Why don't I just do that for one? I'll just do one row of that, and then I'll move on to like try to do 2 rows, like one row scrolling right and one row scrolling left. Okay, so how many of these do I need then? It probably make more sense to, let's see. So target, text image. Probably make more sense to scale by. Am I scaling by width? I am scaling by width. Okay. Weird. Okay. So if I take 0.35, that would mean it takes. Well, say if I take 0.33, right? That should mean it takes 3 of these to tile across the screen if I'm scaling by width. I don't care about upper anymore. Just make it 0, 0. I want to make 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And the X position is going to be in 2/3 increments. And they all have the same scale. That should tile them. Let's see. Yeah, so now they're tiled across 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. They do overlap a little bit, which I didn't expect. Not sure where that comes from, but I got some fault tolerance. I'm willing to accept a little bit of error here, so that's fine. Maybe make them a little bit smaller. Okay, 0.25. We still tile them at thirds. Yeah, that kind of works. It doesn't really look like BRB anymore, unfortunately. So it can't be that small, I guess. Or it could be a little bit smaller. Probably would fix it. Yeah, it's That doesn't really look like BRB. That looks like BR6. So yeah, there's a, I guess, yeah, it's just a resolution issue. Okay. I could also, right now I'm just using nearest neighbor to like pick, should it under this pixel or not. I could do something a little bit more forgiving here, but then that would probably also look really bad, so I'm not going to do that. All right. I think maybe the scale just can't be that small. Still, really? Dang. It's like bar. Alright, that looks about as good as it's going to get, and then I just have to space them out better. Okay. See, that's fine. And then I just have like need to animate them, and so I need, well, I should be able to derive how many I need from the scale, right? Because the scale is normalized across the width of the console. Okay, so the scale is 0.35. If I multiply, essentially I have 0.35 and I have 0.7 if I multiply it by 2, and I have 1.05 if I multiply by 3. I need one more than that in order to scroll it, so 1.4, right? So it's basically like, how many times do I need to multiply the scale until I get one past the point where it's over 1? And that is just a div seal. Wait, no, is it? Let's see. Yeah, it's a div seal of 1 over the scale. So divide and then seal, which I have a procedure for that in my engine. Term math. And so we'll say VRB tile count is equal to div seal 1 and wait, does it work with? Yeah, it does. Okay. Scale. So I should get 4 out of this. Right. Also, I'm just going to go back to running this. I have this. I was doing compile and run so I could more easily debug. Now I'm just going to run it straight. Like a script. Div seal modify. They have to be int types. Oh, dang. Okay. That sucks. That's fine. Just do. Really should have a div seal for floats. Divide 1 over scale. and then cast it to an int, and just add 1 just for safety. I mean, I could see if it's exactly an integer, but I'm not going to do that. So cast to, let's say, s32, and then add 1. Tile count 3. Oh, I forgot to run it. Got to round this. Or no. Oh, wait, I cast it to s32. Oh, cast this to s32, and then that one. Okay, tile count 3. That's not a 104. No. 1 over scale. Yeah, I guess it's 2 on something. Dang. Alright, let's do that. Easy. 4. I don't think I need to run that. Alright. Okay. So we're going to say it's the 1 over the scale plus 2. That's a safe bet. It's okay if there's more than necessary. That's fine. I think. I don't know if an image is completely off the screen. I don't know if that's going to cause a bug, but we'll see. Okay, so the tile count. We're going to say images is a make dynamic array, which is in array. Array. So make dynamic array of, we want console text image, and it's going to be this. I can make a stack. It doesn't really matter. I'll just make a dynamic array. All right, and then for the number of tiles, we're gonna add 1. The position doesn't really matter right now. The scale is the thing that matters. So say array add to the images. We're gonna make give it the text. Position doesn't matter. Make sure the scale is correct. And okay. This is a clear. You know, I should just have like a clear screen command and system. Clear console maybe. This would be print, I think, x1b to j, and then x1b capital C. I think this is the clear. I think this is the bring the cursor back to the top or something. Let's see if that works. I actually don't know about Linux. I don't know much about Linux. I know about Windows. Okay, so clear console here. Let's see. expected. Yeah, that's fair. Once, parentheses. Okay. So that should make it so the compiler doesn't complain at the end that there was no main. Yeah, I think clear screen worked there. So let me just check Stack Overflow really quick, make sure, because I don't know if that's second. I'll just Google it. No AI doesn't exist. How do you clear? I want. Yeah, I've got the 2J. I know that clears. Clearing the screen. 132. You're doing it the complicated way. I want the simple way. Look, I'm not a robot, all right? I promise. I wouldn't even know how to be a robot. See, they have... Does work though, play on yours care to explain the difference. This moves the cursor to line 1, column 1. I see. I swear there was another way to do that. But you know what, I will take their word for it. It looks like \E is like \x1b. It's the same thing, I think. So does this work? No. Yeah, that does the same thing. Okay, and let's get to this one. Okay. So we got a clear screen, clear console. All right, I have all the images I need. Now I want to scroll them left to right infinitely. Which means I need to take the scale, add like some buffer space. So like, let's say buffer is 0.05, something like that. Age thing, that's okay. And so I have a position of the first, position of the first image, and I'm going to iterate over all of the images and set their position as offset from the position of the first image. I also need delta time. I need to know how much time has passed. So let's get that. Let's say let's make that global. Delta time is a float. And let's start it at something like whatever, 60 or whatever. Make sure it's non-zero. And then make sure we also keep track of the time, which starts at 0. And let's also make an end frame procedure to end the frame. So at the end of the frame, we're going to... Actually, I don't want to clear the console. Clearing the console makes it flickery. I just wanted to have that for later, for whatever. Okay, so we're going to sleep for this amount of time. Actually, you know, it would be better to see how much time has passed up to this point and then try to sleep for like the remainder of the amount of time. I know for a fact that Windows sleep is really inaccurate, and like the most accurate I've ever been able to get it is something like 1/3 of a millisecond, and it wasn't from using this, but I'm not going to do that here. But I do want to try to be kind of accurate here. So we'll say let's say we have a frame begin time. Okay. And so let's make a begin frame. So the frame begin time is equal to seconds since seconds since the program initialized. And then end time is seconds since init. Remaining time is just frame time milliseconds minus the amount of time it's taken. So frame delta time is going to be frame end time minus frame begin time. Okay. And then let me just say remaining time is the maximum of frame time ms minus frame delta time and 0. And if remaining time is greater than 0, we're going to sleep the remaining time, right? Now, I know this doesn't work that well, but I'm going to pretend it does because I'm going to, you know, I really don't want to spend like 30 minutes making an accurate timer, so this is fine. This is going to be okay. So now, new time after the sleep, right? Want to make sure we get the whole frame beginning to end. Then after the sleep, we get the new time. So time at the beginning of the loop is equal to before we even start. Yeah. And then the new time down here is the time we spent over the course of the frame, including sleeping. Okay. And so delta time is just new time minus time. And time is equal to new time, right? Just resetting everything. Let's go ahead and reset temporary storage at the top of this. So time is frame begin time, right? Don't need that. time is the time at the end of the frame and the beginning of the frame, because the end of the frame is the beginning of the frame. All right. That looks good. So now we have a delta time, which we can use to smoothly scroll things across the screen. Fantastic. Okay. Let's see. Let's just see one of them scroll across the screen, and then we'll move on to scrolling all of them in sort of an infinite repeating pattern. Okay. So we're just going to do this once, have one image, and have it start off screen, right? So we'll say its position. It's upper left X is equal to, yeah, okay, it's normalized, good. The scale minus the buffer. So it'll start off screen, and then we want it to go, let's say, all the way off screen and then just appear on the other side and start and come back, right? So say images left X plus equals, and give it a speed. So scroll, let's make that global, why not? Scroll, scroll, speed. We want it to scroll one screen width in 3 seconds, maybe, so 1/3. Yeah. URBs. Speed times delta time. And then if we're at the end of the screen, so if we're greater than or equal to scale plus buffer, I'm going to say, we're going to just put it back on the other side. Oh, it should be negative scale. Negative scale plus buffer. Right. Same thing here. Negative scale plus buffer. Okay. Right. Okay, so we're gonna, doesn't like we're taking a 64-bit float and trying to cram it into a 32-bit float. I'm just gonna say that's okay, I don't care. Fair. Okay, let's sleep the floor of it. So, because I don't want to oversleep. That's how you get in trouble. Really doesn't, okay. I need the compiler to chill about these casts. I'm just kidding, it's great. Okay, so that works. 64, yeah, it's going. Cram that float in there. Once again. Just cram it. All right. is... What happened? Oh, line length. Okay. Wait, that was a while ago. I don't think I can trust this. Yeah, that's not even there anymore. Oh, return. Yeah. Okay, so that's not far enough. Why isn't that far enough? It's way too fast, too. Oh. So we're going to do 1 plus scale plus buffer. Yeah, 1 plus scale plus buffer. And yeah, that scroll speed is crazy. And that's smoothish. It looks like it's trying to run off screen when it gets to the edge. Oh, because it takes so much less time to update when it gets to the edge. That is such a silly problem. Wow. Okay. Hmm. Does it look like if I don't sleep? I mean, about the same, really. It's pretty jittery. It's not, well, the jittery is just from like scan lines taking a while to render, basically. And I'm sure that is an interesting, super interesting problem to solve, but I'm gonna not worry about it. And again, I'm going just to just pretend this works. It's gotta be slower than that, unfortunately. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Okay. So now, I need to think of it in terms of like spawning one on the left and like managing them, or just taking one. So anytime one is farther back, it becomes the beginning one. Yeah. Yeah, so anytime one goes completely off screen, I just move them all back by exactly this width here, scale plus buffer. Okay. So we really just need one X position. And that is this. Right. And then we go through all of the images and ask when the one that is currently on screen makes it off screen, or actually I just need to know if we've gone I just need to know if the position is greater than or greater than equal to that distance. So basically BRB x position plus equals BRB scroll speed times delta time. And then for the images, actually just if BRB, so it's the same, this is the same exact logic, right? BRB x, just doing it with this variable. It's just, it's also in some minus equals this, not. Okay. Okay. And I'm assuming it didn't go around twice. I'm assuming the speed isn't so fast that it's advancing. That it's cycling twice and that I have to bring it back twice. I only have to essentially take all of the images that are tiled and they're scrolling across, and then I just move them back once. Scrolling across, and then move them back once, all together. So image and images, we're going to say, let's see. The upper left X. Upper left X. Equal to X, and we just add scale plus buffer to X. And that should create an infinite tiling situation. So. Please? Yeah, there we go. Nice. Oh no! It stopped working. Oh, oh no! Wait, what happened? Was it ever working? Oh, just that. Okay, that's it. And so, I'm gonna have X reset or X spacing, and so BRB X spacing is just equal to this. And the first the exposition starts at BRB negative BRB X negative BRB X spacing. And that should take care of that. Please infinite scroll for me. It's very slow. But it should work. Once, and there, it should have reset. Did it reset? It didn't reset. Why isn't it resetting? What? Oh, God, did it again. 0. Also, I need to speed it up. This is a slow test. Okay, and so once this leftmost beer appears on screen, it should reset. Hey, reset. Nice. Okay, cool. So now it's an infinite scroll. Magical. Okay. Absolutely magical. Okay. That is the power of programming and BRB. Okay. So I also like to have a timer. I can have like a I also want this to be smaller, but I don't want it to like lose the essence of it. I think I'm just going to draw the text a little bit smaller so that it can scale better and still like, or you know what, I could just add in. I bet if I just add more. Make it thicker, then it'll work better. Okay. Scale better. Okay. should be able to scale it down and still, like, it should still be able to tell what it is when I scale it down now. Yeah, okay. So let's say scale is 2.5. Buffer is 0.04. Yeah, that's still BRB. Look like inchworms, but it's fine. Be nice if I could tell the console to update all at once rather than like having to update it in sections, but that's just kind of how it works. It looks like they're all in like a line and just like, looks like cars in a line waiting to accelerate. Like the one in front of them accelerates and then it's like, you know, you're this guy, right? And you're just waiting for this dude to accelerate, and so you get to accelerate a little bit, then you have to slow down repeatedly because they have to slow down, just like over and over again. I guess it's okay. I'm not crazy about how not smooth it is. But I don't know, it'll have to do. Okay. So that's a scroll. I want the position. Okay. Let's say this is right. It's a BB top scroll. And then I'll just make an array every frame for all of the images. So images is dynamic array console text image. Temp. I think that sets the allocator for the array. Dynamic array allocator. Yes, it does. Okay. And then also want to append. Yeah, that works too. Okay. So array append images. I want to add BRB top scroll. So this is where, okay. How do I put this? Okay. So what I'm going to be doing here is making it so first I make an array that can like consists of all the images that are going to be scrolling from left to right. And I fill that array with console text images. Each of them has the BRB text as their image. And then I'm also going to make a bottom scroll. There's another array. Same number of tiles, same scale, same everything else. But it is a different array, and it's going to be scrolling from right to left below the top scroll. And then I want to give them some space in the middle so that like I have a little character walk around. I don't know. I guess with the resolution of the console, I'm going to need a lot of space to make it readable as a character, but I'll have to play around with that. Okay, so this is just BRB. So BRB X spacing is just BRB spacing. And then BRB X position is now BRB top scroll pause. Oops. Okay. So this is for image. So image in BRB top scroll. And so if I do nothing, it should look the same. Yeah, okay. So it's still the same. Now I have the bot scroll. So the top scroll, though, I want to be maybe a little bit farther down. So the height position, let's just say is, oh, I don't know. I need to know what their height scale is, actually. I need to know how much vertical space the image takes up on screen. Since I'm scaling by width, I need to know, I need it to tell me what's the normalized vertical space. Seems like I have to use this stuff. So render height. As in pixels, the normalized version is basically here. This is annoying to get out. This is an annoying piece of information to take out. You know, it's not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad. So we're just going to return the scale if the image if the image scales by its width, return the scale. If we're getting the width scale, so if else it scales by its height, as in the image, like say the BRB, is being scaled relative to the height of the screen, basically, right? So if it's scaled by is width, then it's scaled by the width. So 1 would be the image takes up the whole width, and it's however tall it needs to be. 1 in if it's scaled by its height and its scale is 1, then it's however tall it needs to be to fill up the whole screen, and its width is whatever it needs to be to keep the same dimensions, basically. Okay. So in this case, we're scaling by height. So I need the so 1 is to the height here. Basically, I take the scale. The height times image.scale. So height times image.scale. That's what it renders out to. Is equal to, I guess, the render height, right? So render target height times the image scale is equal to the render height. The render height divided by the text height the render height divided by the text height yeah. Is how much text height gets scaled by. Okay, and then you just take that text scaler and apply it to the width. So same thing to get the height scale. Just the other way around. Okay, so the height scale tells me how much vertical space the BRBs take up on screen, or it should anyway, since I'm scaling by width. Can't forget those semicolons. More semicolons. And never capitalize, except sometimes. Right. So the where are the render dimensions? Oh boy, okay, I have to get that too. Or I let that be another procedure. I just make part of the thing too. This is convenient, right? Eh. Do this. So that I have it. Why else? Okay, CSVI, blah, blah, blah. All right. And I just want to see that the scale makes sense. Please? Oh, yeah. $9.875. Nope. That doesn't make sense. Okay. I have to divide by the render target space, right? Over render target height. This is over render target width. To normalize it. That also doesn't look right. So I could fit 25 of them. I don't think that's right. No, I could fit like 1, 2, 3, it's like 4. What's wrong with my math? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Math's bad. Math is bad. I'm bad. I'm bad at math. Is the problem. Oh wait. Heights. Oh. Yep, there we go. Bad at math. Now I'm good at math, I think. Am I good at math? Oh, shoot. Yes. That's good. Okay, cool. That's what I needed. So now, I have how much vertical space the text is taking up on screen. I can position them accordingly. Okay. Height. Just the BRB height is fine. Maybe norm height a little bit better. Okay, so yeah, I'll loop over them again. Can't hurt. So for BRB top scroll, we're going to set the height position to be like I want the top one to take up to use the top half of the screen, and so I'm going to make it 0.5 minus the norm height minus some buffer. So buffer should now be called horizontal buffer, because I also need a vertical buffer, right? So buffer is HC buffer, right? HC buffer. Let's put these in the globals. And VT buffer for vertical buffer is, I don't know, 0.1 or 0.12 or something like that. Okay. BRB spacing. Make BRB spacing is now BRB 8Z spacing. Okay. Which can actually just be set at startup. There's a lot of stuff that can just be done down here. Never mind. I mean, they could be constants. But I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna take all these and put them in here. All these and put them up here. Okay. Make sure that runs. It doesn't. Okay, that does. Okay, so now, yep, I'm going to, I have VT buffer and the bots roll pause. I could just do the same thing and run it backwards, right? Except I want the upper left, so I should start at 0. It's the same thing, but start at 0. So bots roll pause starts at 0. Yep. And then I want to set the upper left position of each of these images. So the upper left Y is going to be equal to 0.5 minus the BRB norm height plus, oh, I should make a VT spacing buffer, or VT spacing thing. So BRB VT spacing, scale, actually depends on the norm height, so that's fine. Move this down here. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt anything. Okay. These aligned. So that you can read them. So that I can read them. Nobody else can read this. Well, somebody might. Who knows? Okay, so yeah. VT spacing is BRB norm height plus VT buffer. Oops, this is 0.5 minus BRB VT spacing And then for BRB bot scroll, get left y is going to be 0.5 plus just the buffer. I'm not going to see that rendered yet. Just the top one. Okay, good. That looks correct. Now I'm going to get the bottom scroll rendering. I don't want this. I never want that. Okay. All right. I'm going to do basically the same thing for the bot scroll, so you get them moving the other direction. So BRB bot scroll pause. Yeah. So we're going to say minus equals scroll speed times delta time because it's going the other direction. If the scroll pause is less than or equal to BRB HZ spacing, just negative BRB HZ spacing, just add the spacing back. And then we get the position. So this one is going right to left, and whenever the rightmost one gets completely off screen, just add the entire thing by the amount of space, like the amount of horizontal space each BRB takes, plus their buffer, right? Plus the little buffer between them, the padding. I'm saying buffer, I guess I mean padding, but okay. Yeah. And this works the same way. Okay. All right, let's see how that works. Redeclaring X, can't do that. BRB bot scroll pause should be a float. BRB bot scroll pause, make it a float. There we go. We got two scrolls, one going right, one going left. And then if I take myself out of the equation here, but not like that. Look like little BRB inchworms. If I'm being honest, it looks kind of bad. But, you know, well, Is there any way I could make this not look bad? Because I'm gonna use it. I also want to add a timer. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna add the timer. All right. So the timer. Oh yeah, the timer needs to have all of the digits. Okay. So I need to make one string per digit, which is gonna take a second, but I can do it. All right, so digit 0. Let's just start with this, and then delete everything to the right. Okay. So a 0 This has got to be the dumbest way to do this. Let's take all these and move them to the... Oh. Take all these and move them to the left. Delete this one. I think that's fine. All right. That's a good looking 0. By good, I mean it looks okay. I think I'm just going to take the middle out here. It's messing with how pretty this 0 could potentially look. That's a much better 0. Okay. Next I'm going to do 8. 8 is almost exactly the same thing. Alright. Except, make it nice and round on the inside here. You know, we could actually round the inside of this 0 as well. That's not so bad. Okay. Okay, and then take these out. That's a pretty nice looking 8 there. What about a 9? Let's say have a 9 that doesn't. Oh Lord, that is bad. All right. Yeah, that's not a bad 9. Could be a little bit less shelf there. I think I just want to take off this whole side. I think that's a lot better. Alright. Maybe just a little bit of rounding, is that? That looks terrible. Alright. This is the best line right here. That's the best one. So 0 and let's go ahead and make 1. So the number 1 doesn't have all this crap. Get rid of all this. And just give it nice little top thing there. Little flag on top. 2, I guess I can use 8 to start. 2 is gonna look, it's gonna take off this part. Can use this and that. Get rid of this. Oops, that's an F. Two. That's pretty 2-like. Kind of a backwards S, if I'm being honest. Maybe give it a little bit. Get more of the body here. There we go. That's a bunch better too. Okay. 3 looks a lot like 8. I'm gonna just do this. Maybe a little bit more in the middle. A little bit more. A little bit more. No, too much. That's ugly. All right, I'm happy with that. 4 doesn't look like any of these things. I guess the closest thing is a 1. Except it's a bit steeper. So maybe more than that, actually. Three, 2, 3, 1. pretty interesting form. This 4 has a lot of character, I'd say. Yeah. It just looks like a really bad 9. I think maybe I made it too steep. That is fine. I'll make it a little bit more on top here. Very clearly 4. I think not the most beautiful 4, but a 4 nonetheless. All right, 4, 5. 5. I'm going to use 8 for this. I'm close to the end here. All right, chip it. That's a 5. 6. Oh, I got 2 more 6, 7, right? Because I didn't just say that. That's fine. 6 and then 7, and then I'm done. All right. No, that didn't. I think the devil was moving through me there. There's way too many 6s. All right, so 6. What does that look like? I think we keep the curve here. Flatten it out, and look at that. That's just already a 6, but I think I can get. Give it a little wave at the top here. I think that's a good 6. 7. 7 has no counterparts. 7 is alone. 7. I really don't have anything that does what 7 does, do I? Okay. So I'm just gonna start fresh here because this is. Oh, I do need the height though. So. No, didn't want that. Okay, never mind. All right. So 7. It's gonna have a little notch at the end, and it shares very little in common with the rest of this. Could be better. Yep, that'll do. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then why not just have an array? So, okay. Making some constants. Okay. Then I could say digits is an array of string, digit 0, digit 1, digit 2, digit 3, digit 4, digit 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And then I can say digits is equal to static array with console text image, and it's going to have 10 because there are 10 digits. Then for digits, we're going to make an image, one for each digit, right? So scale, I don't know. Timer, digit, scale. Is going to be maybe 0.2.
most nights I'm just wearing my pajamas, staying up too late, 'cause I'm watching Futurama, thinking where's my drama, My life's no melodrama, leave it off the screen, 'cause it's got no genre. Sometimes I call my mama, ring, yeah, she's always my armor. I want to fly away, far from my mistakes. My baggage has too much weight, hey, hey. So my bed is where I stay. Tell the clouds that I say hey. Tell the clouds that I say
There we go. I think I'm probably not going to add. So I think this is good. I did want to have like a little character moving across the middle as well, which I could always do some other time. I think final touch, I might want the BRBs to also have their characters get scrolled. But then like the pretend parallax might, I don't know, parallax isn't the right word. The pretend depth might not be as obvious, so I don't know. I think I'll leave it as is for now. I just want to make it so that I can pass like a number of minutes. I want to set the timer to whenever I start the script. And it will set the timer. So, yeah. Okay. I honestly don't remember how to get arguments. I have to look at the build. Okay. Yep, I don't take any arguments here. Cool. All right. I'll see, I'll check another project real quick. It should be able to get how to take arguments at compile time from that. Yeah, compile time command line. Yeah, basically this. Okay. And the timer. Oh wait, also need to make sure the digits don't go negative. I'll just clamp everything. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be good. All right. Taking arguments. So build options. I need to get the build options first, actually. And for that, I need to get the workspace. From the compiler. Then I should have them. So let's just see what that looks like. Make sure it makes sense. Yes, okay. So I can pass arguments. I'm just going to skip this one and then take this one. And then the number of minutes that I want as an argument. For that I need to call parse int, which is at string, and parse args to get that. And I think that is like that. Right. Okay. Parse int, match that. Okay, it's a pointer to a string. And it does return success as a second argument. Okay, minutes wanted 0. Success false. Let's say 10 then. 10 success true. Nice. Okay, so we just take the number of minutes wanted and multiply it by 60 to get the seconds, and that is it. So, a lot of digit. Timer end. Equal to timer minutes wanted times 60. And that is the whole thing, I think. So I want 1 minute. I just pass a 1 if it'll let me. I guess I meant parse float. Let's do parse int and then cast float. And set it for 1 minute. And yeah, I'm just gonna let it count down here. All right, that's what 0 looks like. So it's not crashing. That's a good thing. So this is the perspective. This is what it's going to look like when I set the timer for 3 minutes and then come back 10 minutes later. I guess. All right. Cool. I guess I could try to make like a minor adjustment here and just see what it looks like if I change the rate at which the slash character changes. Could also maybe get rid of the underscore, or put it in multiple times. So the slash progression is okay. So it is there multiple times. What if I just get rid of it? Yeah, I think that looks better. It looks quite a lot better, actually. Okay, cool. I wonder. You know what would make this really cool is if it took this EDM music and like on beat, if it changed the character of the BRB, right? That would be so much more. That would be I mean, it'd be sick, but it would be a lot harder than I'm doing now. So I've already spent a lot of time on this. I mean, I've spent the right amount of time on it, but also I gotta spend a lot of time on it. So, yeah, I'm curious what it looks like if I change the BRBs to have it as well. Also, what if I just like add some more stuff in, right? Like some really space-filling characters. Oh, it's kind of neat. It looks like it's flashing, yeah. It's kind of cool. I wonder if I made the BRBs also change characters, but like a different one. So let's say slash progression is digit progression, and BRB progression is something else. let's just say it's just progression timer. It's going to control the progression of the characters for both things. So this is progression index is now, I guess, BRB progression index, right? And I just want digit progression index to be its own thing as well. Okay. So digit index is increment wrap. We're going to wrap it with the other array of characters. And the BRB care is the same thing, but the different index. Okay, so I think it's BRB box roll and BRB box roll. And right there, missing a comma. Huh. That's fun. mean, I'm a little bit worried it's too flashy. And I think it should actually go through the second one a bit slower. So I'm just gonna add another thing to another counter. There we go. I think maybe we should just do like constant though. Alright, so I've repeated say it's like 24. Oh, it's fine. So I'll take 20 for every 20 times the digits change their character. The BRB Dexter changes the character as well. And gotta not repeat them. I like the star, I like the money, I don't like the at. I'm wondering about pipe. And maybe dash and what else, like plus might become, all right. Yeah, it's all right. You could also slow it down a little bit to be just a little bit more friendly to people with epilepsy. Don't want anybody to have a seizure. So let's see, progression time. Let's make that quarter second. There we go. It's not so. Yeah, that's a lot better. I don't like the only thing is I don't like the hashtags now. It's too flashy. So hopefully this is the last change. Let's see. I don't like this. Yeah, that's nice. Cool. I don't like the dollar signs for BRBs. I think that should be low visibility, right? So BRB stuff should be low visibility. Oh, sorry, like Astro. I don't like dollar sign. It takes up too much space. These are good. That's good. I think the asterisk is too much too. Pipe is too much. Plus is a little bit too much as well. Alright. No, thank you. Cool. All right. So yeah, I think this is maybe a good place to stop the stream. I've finished my little BRB timer thing that I can use to inform 0 people that I'll be right back. Eventually, maybe some people, you know, will need it. But either way, it was fun, and that's really the most important thing. Is that I'm spending my time doing things that are fun, because you know, what's the point really of, I don't know, I don't need to get deep into the, like, some philosophical thing. I think this was a good use of my time because I enjoyed doing it, and that's really all I need to say. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. To anybody who ends up watching this, thank you for watching.